Call of Cthulhu is a mysterious sci-fi horror story written by H.P. Lovecraft. It is about a man finding the secrets of the ancient myth of Cthulhu through the papers left by his late uncle, who was a prominent archaeologist by profession. The narrator slowly unravels the mystery by piecing up the puzzles, doing a bit of research himself, and at the end is horrified at the hideous and repulsive conclusions he derives from them. He fears that he too would be soon perished, like all the others who knew about this ancient cult, and as readers, we too are left in awe and horror. Chapter 1. The Horror in the Clay. Professor Angel, a prominent archaeologist aged 92, dies by falling down from a steep hill. Doctors claim that the cause of death might be because of the old heart of the professor. The narrator, being the nephew of the professor, gets all his possessions, including his research papers. In a locked box, he finds a mysterious bas relief and documents related to what the professor called the Cthulhu cult. The bas relief contains the mysterious carving of the Cthulhu sculpted by Wilcox. Wilcox is a sculptor and he happens to see a mysterious city called Riley and a monstrous octopus headed figure in a dream and decides to make a bas relief and have it examined by the professor. The professor has seen something similar 17 years back in the form of a statuette. Wilcox then experiences bouts of madness, because of which he is taken into a mental asylum and he wakes up days after treatment in his house only to find he is oblivious to everything which has happened to him since that night. Chapter 2. The Tale of Inspector Legras. The narrator then reads the second half of the manuscript. Inspector Legras finds himself at the American Archaeological Association, headed by the professor. The object of his presence is to find insights about a strange, mysterious statuette which he finds during a raid of some cult voodoo wizards in the wooded swamps in Louisiana. The statuette is unlike anything earthly. It baffles all the present archaeologists who fail to identify its origin. But one man, Professor Webb, tells about something which may have connection to the object which he had seen in Greenland. Inspector Legras then narrates the story of a notorious Louisiana voodoo cult who were responsible for the mysterious disappearance of women and children. He, with a group of 20 policemen, reached the spot of the demonic cult worshippers, dancing around a huge monolith with circles of fire around it. Frantic chaos and frenzy is seen when the inspector manages to disperse the conglomeration and the strange mysterious statuette is seized. 47 of them are taken prisoners, who will not disclose any particulars related to that practice. Most of them are sent to mental asylums because of their insanity. Castro, one of the prisoners, tells them about the old ones who had come from the skies eons before humans existed on the earth. They ruled and swayed the entire world. They have brought along with them their images from the skies. Now they are all dead and lie in their tombs beneath the ocean city called Riley, waiting to be resurrected when the stars are right again. Chapter 3. The Madness from the Sea. The narrator then stumbles upon some newspaper articles which describes a rather curious event that took place in the ocean. A man named Gustav Johansen and his crew are attacked suddenly by a group of unknown pirates. Johansen retaliates and is successful in killing the pirates and seizing their yacht. called Alert in the process. They find a strange stone statue of a cuttlefish headed monster in the cabin. They drift along in the ocean and find a huge cyclopean looking city with greenish ooze dripping out. It looks like the ancient city which has come afloat with its humongous stone blocks and uncanny geometry which looks unearthly. They accidentally open a portal door which awakens the monster himself, which has been the core subject of discussion until now. They run for their lives towards their yacht and see the monster pursuing them. Johansson then rams the yacht into the monster's head and then speeds away from it, seeing its injured body slowly healing up. Johansson is the lone survivor who writes this story and then dies because of the memories that haunt him. The narrator, after reading the story of Johansson, now believes that he is the one who is next in line and is about to die, learning these insidious facts. Thank you.